How we doing, people? Sammy, United People's TV. Sorry, need to close that YouTube screen because I heard my own song twice. Right, we're here with the breaking news from David Ornstein. Manchester United have put in that 85 million euro bid. And you will notice that is 5 million euros less than what Newcastle have done because United are confident that Sesko wants to choose United. I'm going to run through the breaking news. You can let me know what you think in the chat. I did my lunchtime video saying that I actually prefer this strategy from United, not just going in with a bidding war. I imagine this is going to be a one-time offer. And let's go. Sam, you had lunch? No, I was about to have lunch. And then David Ornstein came and bloody ruined it. Unbelievable, Jeff. Unbelievable. This is the news. I'm going to run through the story, a little bit more info from Fabrizio, and you can let me know what you think in the chat. Now, I wasn't actually getting my hair cut today. But look, breaking news. Manchester United have made an offer to RB Leipzig for Benjamin Sesko. The proposal is 75 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons, presumably. Reflects United's valuation, and they believe the striker favours Old Trafford. No reply yet from Leipzig. Newcastle are also working close to the deal. Manco, yet the build source was correct. They went a little bit earlier. But first things first, and I've even said this like last week, or even when we were talking about Gyökeres, like, what the man, where is this dosh coming from? Man. Anyway, let's run through exactly what the breakdown of the deal, well, the offer is. We've submitted the offer, okay? 75 plus 10 in add-ons. The Athletic reported on July the 30th that United were prioritising a move for the forward if they were to sign a striker, and have now made informal contact, well, I say pretty damn formal contact with the club. Fabrizio has added into this. This is what he's saying. Manchester United have submitted a formal bid for Sesko worth 85 million package, add-ons included. The bid has been received by Leipzig, as Bill reported. United move follows Newcastle's 90 million euro package. The player has the decision in his hands, and a little bit more info on that as well. The bid has been sent to show serious, concrete intentions. Sources at Manchester United believe Sesko is keen on the move and therefore decided to proceed with the official bid. That was exactly what I talked about in my lunchtime video today. United have been sitting there waiting patiently. All right? Someone down there saying United are trolling us. I don't particularly think United have been trolling us in any way, shape or form. United have just been sitting there thinking, let's wait. Let's wait. Let's wait until we know that he wants to join United. And I don't really think that bid goes in unless they are damn confident. That's going to be probably down to Chris Vavell more than anybody else. Like Wilcox and Barada, we're all looking to him saying, we've got the green light. We've got the green light. Have we got the green light? We've got it. I'm going to read through. Now, what's your thoughts on the price? My gut feeling here is that proposal surely includes Højlund. Surely that includes Højlund. I might be wrong on that one. And in fact, it may well be wrong. It may well be that Højlund goes to Leipzig in a separate deal. And when you think about it, and when you think about PSR and how accounting works, it probably is best to do it in two separate deals. So it may well be that that's just completely upfront, but that's on the premise that Leipzig sign Højlund. Now, I'm speculating on that one. We haven't got confirmation on that yet, but I would be surprised if it wasn't. Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. Nick sent a super chat. He's saying guaranteed fee is 65 mil, assuming it's accepted and we get to pay over 3 installments. That's 21 mil this year. Do you think that's good? How much would it leave for a goalkeeper and a midfielder? Well, I think part of that is what's happening with the sales that we've been waiting all bloody summer for. But what is it? 20 mil we've put down on Cunha. What was Mbeumo? 70 mil. That was split into 4, but I don't know exactly. I think it's less than 40 mil that we've spent though, across those two. So maybe if you had Sesko into that, that's 60 mil, which is roughly how much cash we had. 72 mil cash in the bank. No Højlund in the deal. Someone's saying down there. Well, I don't think there will be Højlund involved in this direct offer, but I imagine it's definitely part of the conversations. Guys, it's all away if it's not accepted. Please, after this, get Donnarumma. I feel sad for Rasmus. Look, man, football's football. United aren't being unfair here, man. United, any player of Manchester United from here on in, and it should be the case, if by the end of the second year you're not developing on where you were when you came in, sorry, football's going to move on. We're going to have to try and find a replacement for you. Good luck elsewhere. Same goes for Onana. Same goes for Højlund. Same goes for Sesko if we sign him and in 2 years' time he's not delivered on the promise that speaking of hypotheticals here, right? But if we sign him and in 2 years' time he's not developed, then we will consider alternatives. That's what a top-level football club should do. It's just at Manchester United, we've got so used to just keeping players until they've got wrinkles and no one wants to buy them, right? It's about being, that's in my opinion, the strongest definition of, like, ruthless. That's like deciding after 2 years, now we can't give you any more opportunities. Let's move on. Let me see what you're saying down here. I reckon they'll give Rasmus one more season to learn. I mean, it's a possibility. It is a possibility. There is a real chance here that... Sorry, I just can't help, but I can't keep a straight face thinking about how many players that Newcastle have missed out on. I really can't. Alex, you're not particularly... Right, yeah, I think that's going to be the main question down here. Are you all happy with this? Because I think it's going to be a little bit split down here. Maybe not split. It's a wrong way to describe it. Look, first things first, right? That's wild. That's absolutely wild, isn't it? The idea that that could be the front three. And you know what's crazy when you think about it too? If Sesko was to join, then it will be Arsenal lining up against United for the first game of the season, probably with the strikers that they thought each other was signing. Because I think Amrin would have preferred Gyökeres. And Sesko was Arsenal's first target. It's kind of mad how football works. Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. I don't personally think the money matters, says Jack. Tony, you're happy. Ravi, you're happy. Alex, you're not particularly happy. Vinny, neither are you. Here we go. Coming. Yeah, there you go. Let's do a poll, actually. Are you happy? No, stop that. I'm not going to do a poll. Of course you're going to be bloody happy. If we sign a striker, given that we had no striker last season, of course you're going to be happy. It's just whether or not you feel that it's the smartest use of cash. And I'll be totally honest. I would go into this transfer of the three hypotheticals. We're speaking in hypotheticals here, but look, United don't put that bid in unless we've been told, right? Sesko's waiting for United. Like, Newcastle could come in with a bid if they want, but ultimately he's keeping them as a bit of a side bitch. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, just keep him on the side, just in case your main one doesn't work out. And they've got Newcastle. Sesko wants United, man. Why would he choose Newcastle? Seriously, and I don't. Maybe it's going to. Well, of course, it will come across as arrogant when I'm saying it like this, but yeah, I know you got Champions League football this year, but like, come on, like, really? Like, you've been over. Like, you just won your first trophy in, like, what, 4 decades? Come on. Like, I know you got the ambitions to do it, and I know, but come on. Like, seriously. This summer's a massive old reality check. You've got Champions League football, but you didn't get Cunha, you didn't get Mbeumo, you didn't get João Pedro, you didn't get James Trafford, you didn't get Hugo Ekitike. And I'll tell you what, if they don't get Sesko as well, my word. And then Isaac leaves, wow. Either way, United wouldn't put this bid in if we didn't have some real I'm not just saying, what do you reckon, lads? Do you reckon he wants to join us? 50-50. Yeah, go on and put the bid in. This will be coming from Chris Vavell directly, who have contacts with his agent, with his family probably. Because wasn't he at Salzburg when he joined as a teen? Was he a teenager when he joined Salzburg? I think he was. They got Anthony Elanga. To be fair, I think it's a pretty good signing for them. Very much suits that transitional style. But we wouldn't be my point is, we wouldn't be putting this bid in. That's exactly what I said in the lunchtime video. All right. I think this strategy has been correct. It's just whether or not you sort of get into the argument and debate that that's the best use. If we've got 85 million euros to spend on an individual, is it the best use of cash to spend that on Sesko and a striker when we have such gaping problems in our midfield? And my personal opinion is no. If it was me with 85 million euros and I was Chris Vavell and I was United's director of recruitment, I wouldn't be looking at a striker. I'd be looking at a midfielder and really pushing forward with that. And that's not to say that I wouldn't think United would need a striker this summer, But I'd be putting my energies, my effort, and probably more of my money into signing a midfielder. And then, probably later in the window, kind of going into the loan market, going into probably a stopgap signing. Maybe not a stopgap signing, but I'd allocate my funds differently. It's not to say, right? It's not to say that I don't think that he could be an incredible signing. It's not to say that I think United are making a mistake. It's just that probably that's the signing if it goes through. And can I quickly go back to the bid itself? Anybody who's just tuning in, welcome aboard. We've got confirmation from David Ornstein that United have officially submitted their bid for Sesko. And we've got a price here, 85 million euros, 75 million euros up front with 10 million euros in add-ons. We don't know the whole structure of the deal. We don't know whether Rasmus Højlund will be going to Leipzig in the opposite direction. My guess is that he would. My guess is that both of those deals would happen separately. And if that's correct, and Højlund goes in the other direction, and it's 75 million guaranteed, I think that's about 65 million pounds, isn't it? Take 30 off, it means we're going to get Sesko for around about 35 million pounds. When you talk about it like that, you go, all right. Manny is saying we cry for spending 85 on Højlund, and now we're spending another 85 on another Højlund. See, that's where I just can't agree with that. Like, I know that it's easy to overreact and do stuff like that. I think it's extremely lazy to try and say that Sesko is going to be another Højlund. Reason I'm saying that is because of environment. And also, like where he was when we signed him. We signed Højlund when he was, 20 from Atalanta when he had 8 Serie A goals. Completely unknown entity. Sesko's 22, 2 years older, already established in the Champions League, already established in the Bundesliga, and is at a different point to where we signed Højlund. And also will be surrounded, and you can see the two bloody players there. He's looking to his left and he sees Cunha. He's looking to his right and sees Mbeumo. When Højlund did that, he looked at a disinterested Rashford, and a Garnacho has just broken through the academy. Don't be lazy with the narrative of that. Like, be better than that, all right? He's not. If we do sign him, he's not just going to be another Højlund. But I think we're all going to be a little bit stung by what happened with Højlund. Do I think 85 million is a fair reflection? I'll ask you actually. Do you think 85 million is a fair reflection of Sesko's value in the market? I feel like it's a little bit inflated. I don't think it's massively inflated, but I do think it's a little bit inflated. And of the 3 signings that we made this, if we were to sign him, he'd definitely be the one that represents the risk. You know what Cunha is. You know who he is. You know he's established. I'd say Cunha feels like the safest of the 3 signings. And Mbeumo feels pretty safe too, in terms of what you can actually expect. Sesko, you don't really know. And that's part and parcel of what makes signings like him exciting. But the good thing is he wouldn't come in and have to score 30 goals in his first season, or he's not doing enough at United. Not with those players around him. And you can see United's strategy. Now, whether we agree with it or not is very much up for debate. And that we'll talk about the midfield, and we always have. United are just, it's like you can walk into United's ballroom, it's just a board with goals, just written in big letters. Goal. That's what we're doing this summer. That's what we're signing. That's where our money's going. Yeah, I know our midfield could probably do with being improved. Yeah, goals, right? That's what we needed more of last season. Let's go and sign Cunha. Let's go and sign Mbeumo, both from the Prem. And let's go and sign one of the most exciting young talents as a striker. Goals. That's what we need more of. Yeah, I know we need more control in midfield, but goals. That's what United are prioritising. And hey, look, if we end up scoring another 30, 40 goals next season, I don't think there'll be many United fans that will be complaining about that. Right, let me see if anything else is big, because this is a breaking story. So there's going to be stuff and developments that happen during the live show, right? Let me see what he's saying down here. Manny, he's saying, my point was Højlund will be better than these with these 2 next to him. He's already shown that. Okay, I understand that part. I think Højlund goes to Leipzig if that deal is accepted. Man, what an absolute piss take that would be for Newcastle. If we sign him for less than the bid that they put in. That's the ultimate par, isn't it? Right. Someone tell me that Fabrizio's posted a full article on the Facebook page. Let's pop over to there. A bit of research while we're talking. What's he saying? Well, that's absolutely nothing. That's what I've already covered. Come on. People. What else are you saying down here, right? Do we think we'll have a gentleman's agreement if he chooses us? You know, well, we've heard about that, isn't it? And I never really believed it. Like the idea that Leipzig had an agreement with Sesko that if the biggest clubs and therefore the richest clubs in the world come in, that they let him go for 10 mil cheaper. It didn't really make any sense. It didn't make sense from it. Newcastle can have Højlund. Yeah, of course he can. Huh? 40 million for you. Would you want a buyback clause with Rasmus? I think it would be smart to have it in there. I don't see a reason why you wouldn't have it in there, if I'm being totally honest. Because the buyback clause doesn't actually have to really have a number set against it. It's more a case of, okay, well, if you were to sell Højlund in the future, we've got right of first refusal. So if they sell him and agree a fee with another club, then we can match that and then signing for that. I doubt very much that we'll be able to put a buyback clause into anything with Højlund. So by 2028, if we wanted to sign him back, we could pay him X amount. Probably put a sell-on clause in it. What's Ben Jacobs saying? Being told to go and check out what he's saying. So I'll pull this up here. Right. More on the offer. This has come from Ben Jacobs, right? Let's see what he says. Formal offer made this morning following talks with Sesko yesterday. 75 million euros matches Leipzig's quoted fee. 5 million of the add-ons easily achievable, leading United to consider the bid close to Newcastle's package. Overall number is lower. United believe that Sesko wants to join and never plan to bid without player buy-in. Newcastle attempting to agree a deal first with Leipzig. Newcastle had been attempting to agree a deal first with Leipzig and had hoped United would back off last night. Now both clubs engaged in talks with Leipzig and neither are far off their expectations. Newcastle's long-standing fear had been if both clubs offer like for like, Sesko would choose United. That's always been the case. You know what? I'm not saying this with captain hindsight. I really am not. But the whole Mbeumo deal, I wasn't worried. I didn't think that there was going to be somebody that was going to come in and gazump United and offer more and then all of a sudden he joined someone else. The only time with the Mbeumo situation where I was like, I thought it was sticky was when Newcastle ended up going after Visser. And I didn't think that Brentford would sell both of those in the same summer. That was the only sticky point. With Newcastle and Sesko, if we put in a similar offer, he's only going to choose one team. He really is. It's going to piss Newcastle fans off so much to hear that from my mouth. But it's what I've always felt. And I think it's what United have always felt as well. Hence why Newcastle put a bid in. We were like, all right. Newcastle put a second bid in. We've now taken our step because we've got confirmation, clearly. Well, confirmation's a strong word because he could end up choosing Newcastle. It's not impossible. It's really not impossible. But I just don't see why. I really don't. Hey, look, if you want to go the short-term Champions League football next season, sure, you can take that on me. But other than that, there is nothing that you can possibly tell me in the chat in terms of a long-term project where Newcastle would beat United, apart from next season in the Champions League. Newcastle could offer him more money. Yeah, sure. Maybe that. And given they've lost everything, they probably would offer more money. But I just... Can someone in the chat, like, genuinely asking this, and I don't mean this in a sarcastic way, what else could Newcastle, other than Champions League football next season, offer that would make the proposition a better offer than United? If you ignore money, and maybe you can't ignore money, maybe you can't ignore the Champions League next season. I'm just interested. Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. United are surprising us all this summer. Let's be totally honest. Do you know if Sesko has been training with Leipzig? But he wasn't in the squad to face Atalanta at the weekend. Don't actually know, if I'm being completely honest. Social media from Newcastle fans will be, hey, he's crap, you never wanted him. Oh, yeah, he's only joining United for the money, in the exact same way that Mbeumo was. Okie dokie. Which position for Bruno to play now? I don't know. We're going to be scoring goals galore next season, though. Quite a few of you are mentioning wages. Prince saying a little quickie with Eddie Howe. I'm not really sure that's a positive thing. 3 pints at Shearer's Bar. Cold weather. I remember when I went up to... I can't remember what... Where is it? Over there. I found like an old ticket. An old Newcastle ticket. And when I went up there, I had some mad meal in like some Newcastle pub. It was the biggest damn roast dinner I've ever seen in my entire life. And we won 3-0. That's when Tom Cleverley scored from a cross. It's a long-ass journey up there, though. Jack is saying Geordie started a war with themselves and still lost. Hey, look. He may well end up still signing for Newcastle. But the only reason that bid has gone in from our football club is because we have full confidence that once these 2 offers are on the table, he is only choosing one. Someone down there saying more stability at Newcastle. Really? More stability at Newcastle? That is not the way I would describe what's going on there. Paul Mitchell was an equally as inefficient appointment as Dan Ashworth was. Eddie Howe is... I mean, he won't walk away from his job, but he's been... I think it's fair to say he's being let down this summer. Newcastle are hampered by the rules that should have been in place before City and Chelsea came and ruined the whole Premier League, but they're in place now at least. I'm going to tell you, how you doing, buddy? I get Ruben isn't choosing targets, but surely he should be choosing which area of the team to strengthen. Does he not want a midfielder? Well, that's kind of what I said earlier. From a strategy perspective, I think it's clear what United is now. Now, we can all... There's going to be a lot of games... If we go into next season without signing a midfielder, you best be hoping that United are winning games like 4-3 every game, because I can't imagine we're going to control that many games of football unless we do sign one. But we're definitely going to be scoring a lot more goals. Control clearly isn't the priority for United this summer, not even in midfield. And we don't even know the financials behind this all. I'd be amazed if let's say they accept it, I'd be amazed if it didn't follow a bid that for Højlund directly from Leipzig in the opposite direction. Because as it stands, he's not involved in this. Rex is saying Paul Mitchell must be sweating profusely right now. Glad we does that, but I still think the 85 million would be better spent on 2 central midfielders. You know what my personal preference was. I didn't really hide it. My personal preference was sign Watkins and use that difference in cash between the Sesko valuation and Watkins to put that on a midfielder. That would have been my preference. But United are going in a different direction. The confirmation is in. Now, I'm going to keep chatting to you because I think this is a really, really interesting conversation that we can have down here. JDP is saying, honestly, what we've done in the market so far, and now with the Sesko bid, I bet that we're also going to bring in a midfielder before the end of the window. Well, let's be honest. United have surprised us in the right ways in terms of the levels of targets we've gone after. Is that fair to say? Maybe we far from had a perfect summer. Christ, we've literally sold no players. Cunha we knew about early on. And Mbeumo took us by surprise. And so is Sesko. I don't think any of us really in our sort of... Even in your dreams, would have thought that could have been United's front three next season. It's just impossible. Someone down there saying that Sesko's 22, it's a no-brainer. I can't look at this and say it's a no-brainer. I can't look at this and say I haven't got my reservations. I had less reservations about Mbeumo and I had less reservations about Cunha. But I really do hope that... fuck it, man. If we're going to sign... Just do it, man. Be that guy. Be that younger player that just comes to United and just goes... Just absolutely crushes it and delivers. And we go, oh my God. What a player we've signed there. Who was the last younger player that we've done that did that? So like someone who's, what, 23 or under? Somebody who's just come in and gone, like they've just delivered. Genuine, I'm not, off the top of my head, I can't really tell you who that player is. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying our recent track record is nay the best. It is a risky investment. What are you saying down here? Rooney, mate, you're going way back there. Way back there. Ahmad? Well, it took Ahmad 2 loan spells, like a good old time to come through. I think we can definitely go Anthony Martial, Cristiano, who's saying Ronaldo. Januzaj came from the academy, doesn't count. Yoro, there's a good one. Yoro's a good shout. I think Yoro's definitely delivered. Man, you can see that United, that's why we went. It's almost like, when you think about it, this is a really random segue. But now that someone's mentioned Yoro down there in the chat. Last summer, when the Euro bomb came out, we went in there and we gazumped Real Madrid. We offered a lot more. We stepped in front of them. We blocked them. They wanted to get him, but for cheaper. But we went in and we got Euro. Did we overpay for him at the time? I think we did. Do we now think that we overpaid for him, or did we just get in there early? Yeah, I think you know the answer to that one. It's kind of what Newcastle were trying to do with Sesko. Get in there early, put in a bid, put in a second bid, 90 million, go in there. Make sure that we get a deal done with Leipzig for Sesko before United come in with their bid up. For fuck's sake. Eddie, it's happened again. Halftime Orange is saying, realistically, Sesko was our 5th choice striker option. Delap, Gyökeres, Ekitike and Watkins all inquired. 85 million euros for him terrifies me. Yeah, it's easily the biggest risk. And we don't know the way that all the football dominoes work, but as far as I know, because we didn't sign Delap, we then pivoted and went after Mbeumo. So I think that's worked out quite nicely for us. Gyökeres, Champions League football was everything for him at the age that he's 27. This is going to be his big move. He doesn't really want a project. He wants something ready-made to compete. I mean, he'll end up losing with Arsenal anyway, but he wanted that. Ekitike, I think Ekitike is a pretty fair one. Although the numbers we were saying around him were, I suppose, equally as daunting. Watkins, the price was never really right on that one. And then, of course, Sesko now. What else is he saying down here? Tracking Sesko since he was 16. Yeah, as always, you know what we'll do on this channel. We'll have a profile video ready to go when we do sign him. Not sure whether we'll pull the trigger just yet, because there's a big old chance that he does go Newcastle. I'm going to read some more of your chats out. Have we put in the bid because he's said that he only wants to join United? For anybody who's just tuning in, I'll just reiterate that. David Ornstein, United, that 85 million euros, 75 plus 10, reflects United's valuation of him, and they believe he favours Old Trafford. Fabrizio here. United sent the official bid. Sources at Man United believe Sesko is keen on the move, and therefore decided to proceed with the bid. Ben Jacobs saying the exact same thing here. Newcastle have always feared he's going to be choosing them. And I already asked you in the chat. I don't need to repeat it. I just don't see a world where United isn't a preferred option for him, unless Champions League football next season is just critical. And I don't think it is when you're 22. But it's not, is it? 1 year out of European football at Old Trafford, and then you're back in the top, and you're 23, and you're settled. It's cool. Let me see what you're saying down here in the chat. It's absolutely popping down here. If you are new, make sure you do subscribe to United People's TV. But Sam is bigger than Newcastle. I don't think that's the case. Controversial, but there is a player in Holland. The kid will come through, but probably not United. Really like the guy, always working hard. I don't think that's particularly controversial, if being honest. Like, he's scored 16 goals in his first season, man. He's clearly got talent, but he absolutely melted in the environment, the boiling point environment of United in that second season, like so many other players did. We finished 15th. I think he could really, really do well at Leipzig. I think of all the Bundesliga clubs, if he could choose a Bundesliga club to go to, I think he'd choose Leipzig. You might say Dortmund, maybe, but I think Leipzig, the path, not even the pathway, but just the development record that they have of players like Højlund and turning them into top level stars. Who knows as I said, in 2 years' time, if Højlund does go there, if there's not conversations about bringing him back to Old Trafford, if there is a buyback clause that they do include. And of course, there's no actual deal that's involving Højlund here. I'm just kind of presuming all of this. But I'd be amazed if that's just cash only. Right? I'd be amazed if it was just cash only. Quite a few of you are saying down there about Douglas Luiz. Hey, look, let's find out. Right, Florian Plettenberg, another little cheeky update. Let's see what he's saying here. It might not even be an update, but he's waded into it. Florian Plettenberg, who, of course, works for Sky Sports Germany. You'd imagine that he's got some sources close to the story. What's he saying? Exclusive detail. I understand Benjamin Sesko and his camp have reached full verbal agreements with both Manchester United and Newcastle. Yeah, little slag. Final details were settled yesterday. It now mainly depends on which club also reaches an agreement with Leipzig. United are offering 85 mil. Newcastle are offering 90 mil. Man, it's not getting caught cheating. Yeah, it's got two girlfriends at the same time. Yeah, let's go on. So I'm guessing. Man, that's a bit odd. I mean, it's possible, I suppose. Full contract agreements with both Newcastle and United. What, do you then play them off against each other and tell the other that you're not talking to the other? Oh, that's a bit of a weird one. It might be true. May well be true, but we'll see. That's come from Florian Plettenberg. What else are we saying down here? A little bit from the BBC. Right. There's more stuff, more stories breaking on this. It's always fun doing these live, isn't it? Because we all get to react to it together. Right, this from the BBC. United bid £74 million for striker Sesko. Manchester United have made a bid for Sesko with the overall package rising to €85 million. It's that same thing. The offer guarantees a payment of €75 million. United are yet to get a response, but believe it is an appropriate valuation for him, and that the player is keen to complete a move to Old Trafford. So everyone's saying that. David Ornstein, Fabrizio, Simon Stone, they're all saying, and their sources are going to be, because it's interesting how you watch this develop, right? If you think about the sources of David Ornstein, you think about the sources of Simon Stone from the BBC, they're going to be coming from United's side. If you think about where Florian Plettenberg's going to be getting his from, he's probably going to be coming from the Leipzig side, from the German side. So it's going to be like different intentions going into how the news is covered and what is said. But United clearly they've got the green light. Enough that they've pulled the trigger. Someone down there is still talking about midfielders. Yeah, look. You're preaching to the choir here. I know we need a midfielder. I'd probably say desperately need a midfielder. We absolutely have to get one. I didn't think that we would be spending anywhere near this much money on a striker. I didn't think that we would be spending anywhere near that much money on a right attacking midfielder. But here we go. United have surprised me with Mbeumo, and they're surprising me with Sesko. So I hope they surprise me with a midfielder as well, because that'd be quite nice. Let me see what you're saying down here. Sam, I'm low-key hoping that Sesko doesn't choose United and that same money can be used in midfield. I hope that would be the pivot. And look, you might say that this is me with a bit of copium immediately. If Sesko chooses Newcastle, good luck to him, good luck to them. I won't lose sleep over that. If United had lost Mbeumo to Arsenal or Spurs or Newcastle, I would have been pissed, man. I would have been angry. If he does not choose United, I'm not going to cry over that at all. And it actually means, as someone says down there, well, that means United got €85 million to spend on other positions. Oh, okay. Let's write this down. Cool. Let's go and spend 50 mil on a midfielder. Let's go and spend 30 mil on a goalkeeper. Now we're talking. But I don't really think it reaches this point unless United know that he wants to choose United. That's what I think. Last couple minutes of the show. Let me see what you were saying down here. We can't forget about the goalkeeper. Amortization in installments. Of course, we all know that. Man, notifications going absolutely mad. What's being said? Yeah, you've got separate ones saying that he's got agreements with both camps. Yeah, you've got Ben Jacobs saying the exact same thing. But I don't know whether he's just repeating what's being reported there. Drama. It's why people love the transfer window, right? It is fun when your team wins. It's crap when your team loses. It's almost like a football game. Let me see what you're saying down here. Syed, you're saying 75 million euros is 65 million pounds. It is a bit over the price, I think 60 fair, but it's potential United tax. I think it's a little bit. I do think it's a little bit overpriced, but this is a summer where are all strikers overpriced this summer? Florian Wirtz wasn't a striker. Hugo Ekitike, I think everyone felt that he was overpriced, but I think that was probably a pretty fair valuation that Liverpool got, unfortunately. Gyökeres, I think that was a pretty fair price as well. Maybe that's Benjamin Sesko ringing me now. Yeah, you choose. All right, yeah, you chose not. Yeah, he's chosen United. Well, I imagine that we might be going live later on because I don't really think that this takes much longer. Bids are in. We're hearing reports that he's agreed terms with both clubs. That's a bit of a weird one. We'll find out. But United have put the bid in, 85 million euros, 5 million less than Newcastle's, and they've done that with the confidence that he wants to choose United. And you've got separate reports saying that he's actually agreed terms with both Newcastle and Manchester United, which is a bit of a weird one. All players have been overpriced this summer. And it's modern football. It gets worse every single season, and it's not going away anytime soon. So in terms of crying over the prices of players, I don't think any United fan cries over the price of the player. It's more the fact that you look at that and go, could we have spent that better elsewhere? Alex is saying, last couple of questions and I'll finish. If this deal happens, does that mean no more signings this summer, even without goings? As far as we thought about the budget, then yeah. But United are surprising us. Maybe there's some money hidden behind the back of the sofa. Maybe they're more confident about sales than we realise. I don't quite know. Maybe they're going to be using this summer as the last summer to spend on the credit card. I don't know exactly what it is. But United are spending. Vavell's got a bias towards Red Bull project players. I mean, you could try. Couldn't you play for Leipzig as well? Oh, it's just Ten Hag all over again. We're just signing Dutch players. Come on, man. He's literally a director of recruitment who's worked in recruitment for years and years and years. That is a massive stretch. Right. Thank you all for tuning in. That was a really busy show. If you are new, please do subscribe. I'll be here covering all the news. Whatever happens next, I'll be here. All right. Take it easy, everybody. The 85 million euros bid is in. And like I said in my lunchtime video, United wouldn't do that unless they were confident that he's going to choose us. So now, Sesko, make your choice.